Every single day, thousands upon thousands of Magnum ice creams roll off gleaming production lines around the world in a mesmerizing symphony of cold steel, creamy swirls, and glossy chocolate perfection. In this high-speed world of frozen indulgence, fresh cream is churned to an impossibly velvet smoothness, while molten chocolate glistens under bright factory lights, waiting patiently for its moment to coat each perfectly formed bar. But behind these seemingly simple frozen treats lies a split-second process so incredibly precise that it can make or break the iconic snap you hear with every satisfying bite. How do manufacturers keep every single bar absolutely identical while working at such blistering speeds? And what hidden step truly locks in that unmistakable Magnum crunch that devoted fans have come to expect and crave? The global supply chain. A journey across continents. The making of Magnum ice creams begins long before the first precious drop of cream hits the massive stainless steel mixing tanks. And the story is as much about intricate global supply chains spanning multiple continents as it is about creating a frozen treat. At the heart of every bar lies a carefully crafted blend of smooth, rich dairy ice cream and crisp, high-quality chocolate. Two essential components that originate from vastly different parts of the world, each bringing their own unique characteristics to the final product. The cream and milk powder that give the ice cream core its luxuriously rich, indulgent texture are typically sourced from large-scale dairy producers in Europe or Oceania, where pasture-fed cows graze on lush grasslands and produce exceptionally high-quality milk with a butterfat content that's absolutely ideal for premium ice cream making. These raw dairy ingredients are transported in specially designed refrigerated tankers that maintain optimal temperatures throughout their journey, or spray-dried into concentrated powdered form for easier handling and extended shelf life, then carefully shipped to production facilities where the transformation happens. Chocolate production, on the other hand, starts thousands of miles away in cocoa-growing nations situated along the equator, with Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Indonesia ranking among the world's largest and most important suppliers. Each year, the massive global cocoa industry produces well over 5 million tons of precious cocoa beans, with a significant share destined specifically for confectionery manufacturers like those producing the beloved Magnum bars. These beans undergo careful fermentation and drying processes in their countries of origin before being shipped in massive container vessels across oceans to sophisticated processing facilities in Europe, where they are expertly roasted, ground, and refined into the silky smooth chocolate used for coating. The birth of a premium brand. Innovation meets indulgence. The origins of this beloved frozen delicacy date back to the late 1980s, when innovative European ice cream manufacturers sought to create a truly premium, handheld dessert specifically designed for adult consumers who craved sophistication. Unlike traditional ice cream sticks coated in thin, delicate chocolate shells that would crack and fall away, Magnum bars were deliberately designed with a much thicker, more substantial layer of chocolate and a denser, creamier filling, a bold move calculated to set them dramatically apart in a market dominated by children's products and simpler frozen treats. The concept was genuinely a commercial gamble at the time. Luxury ice cream on a stick had to justify its significantly higher price tag to skeptical consumers accustomed to paying less for frozen desserts. But it quickly became a runaway success across Europe before expanding triumphantly into global markets, capturing the imagination of consumers worldwide. Today, state-of-the-art production facilities on multiple continents turn out millions of bars every single day, with some of the largest and most advanced factories impressively capable of producing over 1 million individual units in a single 24-hour cycle. The manufacturing process begins. Precision at every step. In a modern manufacturing plant that operates around the clock, the complex process begins when raw dairy arrives at the receiving bay in the early morning hours. If the milk is fresh and hasn't been processed into powder, it must be immediately stored in large insulated silos at temperatures just above freezing to preserve optimal quality and prevent bacterial growth until processing begins. Milk powder, fresh cream, refined sugar, carefully selected stabilizers and emulsifiers are carefully weighed with digital precision and blended according to precise formulations that have been exhaustively tested and refined for both exceptional flavor and perfect texture consistency. The massive blending tanks, which can hold thousands of liters at a time and stand several meters tall, are fitted with powerful high-shear mixers that ensure every ingredient disperses absolutely evenly throughout the mixture, creating a homogeneous blend. This liquid ice cream mix is then pasteurized by heating it to around 85 degrees Celsius for exactly 15 seconds to eliminate any harmful bacteria before being rapidly cooled to just above freezing point. This critical step not only ensures complete food safety, but also primes the mixture for aging, a process where it rests for several hours in carefully chilled tanks to allow the fat molecules to crystallize properly and the stabilizers to fully hydrate, ultimately giving the finished product its distinctive smooth mouthfeel that consumers love. Chocolate preparation, the art and science of cocoa. The chocolate coating follows a completely separate but equally intricate preparation route that requires specialized knowledge and equipment. Cocoa liquor, pure cocoa butter, refined sugar, and milk powder are combined in large industrial mixers, then refined between heavy steel rollers in multiple passes until the particle size is reduced to around 20 microns, finer than a single grain of table salt. This refinement process is absolutely crucial to ensuring that the chocolate snaps cleanly and satisfyingly when bitten into, creating that signature Magnum experience. The mixture is then conched in heated troughs through a slow, methodical churning process that can last anywhere from 4 to 72 hours depending on the specific flavor profile required and the desired characteristics. Conching develops complex flavors while driving off unwanted acidity and residual moisture that could compromise quality. Before use, the chocolate must be carefully tempered through a precise heating and cooling process that encourages the formation of stable cocoa butter crystals in the correct polymorphic form, giving the coating its signature glossy finish and perfectly crisp texture that doesn't melt in your fingers. Uniting ice cream and chocolate, a delicate dance. The real challenge in making a Magnum bar lies in successfully uniting these two components, the soft, aerated ice cream core and the rigid chocolate shell, without compromising either one's integrity. In the bustling production hall that operates at near-freezing temperatures, the ice cream mix is pumped into continuous freezers where it is simultaneously aerated and frozen to around -5 degrees Celsius. This rapid freezing process locks in the microscopic bubbles of air that give the product its characteristic lightness and creamy texture, with tolerances so incredibly tight that even a millimeter's deviation could cause the stick to emerge skewed in the final product. Coating the frozen cores in chocolate requires impeccable timing and precise temperature control that leaves no room for error. The bars are carefully unmolded and passed through a flowing curtain of liquid chocolate, which is maintained at an exact working temperature, warm enough to flow smoothly over the frozen surface, but cool enough to solidify quickly upon contact with the frozen ice cream core. If the chocolate is too warm, it will melt the delicate outer layer of the ice cream, creating defects. Too cold, and it will thicken prematurely, creating an uneven, unattractive coating with poor coverage. This critical part of the process is fully automated with computer-controlled precision. with sophisticated conveyor systems perfectly synchronized to ensure each bar receives an identical coating every single time. Some popular variations include additional layers, such as caramel swirls or nut inclusions, which require secondary dipping or enrobing steps that add complexity to production. Economics and logistics. Managing a global operation. From an economic perspective, the cost of producing a Magnum bar varies considerably depending on fluctuating raw material prices that change daily on global markets. Cocoa prices are particularly volatile, influenced by unpredictable weather patterns, political stability in growing regions, and shifting global demand from emerging markets. In recent years, cocoa futures have reached record highs, prompting manufacturers to carefully balance sourcing from different origins to manage costs while still meeting ambitious sustainability goals and consumer expectations. Dairy prices are similarly affected by feed costs for cattle, energy prices that impact refrigeration and transport, and agricultural subsidies that vary by country. Large-scale producers benefit from economies of scale, buying ingredients in bulk quantities and operating plants at high capacity to spread fixed costs over millions of units produced annually. The balance between automation and manual labor in Magnum production leans heavily toward machines and robotics, though human oversight remains absolutely essential for quality assurance. Operators continuously monitor the production lines for defects, adjust settings in real time based on performance data, and perform rigorous quality checks throughout shifts. Visual inspection systems equipped with high-resolution cameras scan each bar for irregularities such as incomplete coatings or missed sticks and automatically reject defective units before they reach packaging. However, trained staff still carry out random sampling for taste, texture, and aroma to ensure each batch meets exacting brand standards that have been established over decades. Transporting raw materials to the factory is a logistical feat in itself, requiring coordination across multiple time zones. Cocoa mass and butter are often shipped in solid blocks that must be melted down before use, while dairy powders arrive in moisture-proof sacks or bulk containers. Just-in-time delivery systems are used for perishable items like fresh cream, minimizing storage time on site. Quality control and distribution. Maintaining excellence. Maintaining quality across such vast output is no small feat and requires constant vigilance. Temperature fluctuations during storage or transit can cause sugar bloom or fat bloom on the chocolate coating, leading to a dull appearance or grainy texture that consumers would find unacceptable. To prevent this, strict cold chain protocols are enforced from the moment the bars leave the factory until they reach retailers' freezers, requiring close coordination with distribution partners. The time taken from receiving raw materials to producing a fully frozen coated bar ready for packaging can be surprisingly short, often less than 24 hours. However, much of the preparation happens behind the scenes in the roasting of cocoa, the aging of dairy mixes, and the tempering of chocolate. Global expansion and market adaptation. The popularity of Magnum has grown exponentially to the point where it is now sold in more than 100 countries worldwide, with particularly strong markets in Europe, Australia, and parts of Asia where premium ice cream consumption is growing rapidly. In the United States, the brand had to adapt its flavor profile slightly to suit local tastes, adjusting sweetness levels and experimenting with new inclusions that appeal to American consumers. Seasonal releases and limited editions also play a significant role in keeping the brand in the public eye, with production schedules adjusting to meet spikes in demand during warmer months. As consumer preferences have shifted toward healthier options, the range has expanded to include mini versions for portion control, almond-studded coatings, double layers of caramel and chocolate, and even plant-based options that cater to vegan consumers. This process, from sourcing to sealing, involves thousands of kilometers of transport, countless hours of preparation, and decades of continuous innovation, making Magnum production not just a remarkable feat of food manufacturing, but a compelling example of modern industrial precision operating at global scale.